My name is Julianne Daly. I am a manager of a day service for adults with intellectual disability. I'm going to give you an insight into the role of a social care worker manager within a day service setting.
So Julianne, could you tell us what is the administration role of a manager in a day service unit, and could you give us an example please?
Well, my role is to oversee the day-to-day running of a service and to adhere to policy and procedure, to ensure health and safety of both service users and staff. To document and finalise all petty cash payments, to delegate jobs to staff as a way of motivation, to ensure a good rapport is built between family and outside contractors. As a manager, it is our responsibility to ensure all files are up to date at all times, and also to oversee good hygiene and maintenance within the setting.
Okay, thank you, Julianne. Okay, could you explain the concept of key working and its daily role in your day service unit?
The role of a key worker in our day service setting would be to encourage service users to make day-to-day choices independently and to put supports in place if needed to ensure the individual understands the choices that he or she is making. The plan goals, big or small, we would normally do this through an approach called person-centred planning. This will be also done through timetables using visuals and love as a total communication approach. We would also make ourselves available to advocate on behalf of if and when needed for the individual. Our aim is to ensure each individual is really included within the community life and lives a life of their choosing. It's our responsibility to be aware of skills needed and to put training in place to ensure the individual lives a life to the best of his or her capacity.
Okay, thank you, Julianne. Okay, so Julianne, what is the role of a teacher in the day service unit? And then could you please explain maybe what the systematic instructional approach is?
We train, within our service, we train individuals using systematic instruction approach. Mark Gold, it was developed in I think it was the early 70s, and within this approach would break down a task into steps. From the beginning to the end of the task can be used front ways, back ways. Alongside this approach, within my service, we would also use Lou Brown top-down approach, and this approach would help a trainer, a tutor or a teacher to identify skills within that task. So for example, to teach independence in our unit, we would normally, one of the things we would do is learn them how to use a mobile phone. So what we would do is, a skill within that is they need numeracy to understand how to use it. So if they're at their capacity and can't learn how to use numeracy any more than what they know, then we go back to our systematic instruction approach and adapt the environment. So what we would do there is, instead of trying to learn them how to use numbers, which they probably will never get, we would normally stick a picture on each button of the phone. So your picture, my picture, Jonathan's picture, and put them all into speed dial so that they know if they press your picture and hold it, it's going to call you. And it's a really effective way, and has proven to be very efficient for the individuals whose capacity would be less.
Okay, thank you, Julianne. So the last question I asked is, Julianne, relationships are important in the role of a social care worker. And maybe and we explain how we can establish, re-establish and maintain relationships within a day service unit?
Yeah, well, normally, firstly, we would allow the service user to choose the key worker themselves within my service. They could, like to pick a key worker they would like to work with. This will be done after any year within the service, because no PCP would be done or anything like that would be done within the first year. Let's get to know staff, know the social care workers in the premises, build a little bit of rapport with them, and then they will decide who they want to work with within the service. The key worker that they pick, or the social care worker that pick, would then would offer support, as some individuals need assistance when forming relationships. Others may need someone to facilitate their involvement. Then how we would maintain relationships within our service would be through what we would like to call circle of friends, circle of support. You're probably very familiar with circle of support. We would add in friends into that as well. And this group of people would meet on a regular basis. Now you could be looking at maybe once a month, and it grows and grows and grows as bridges are being built along the way. So to meet up for a chat with the person with a disability, and I help them to accomplish personal visions and goals. Circle members try to open doors to new opportunities, and this includes establishing new relationships. So it's not only about the relationship with social care worker, it's also always trying to establish new relationships outside the service also. So that's the approach we would take.
Right, you've been very helpful. Thanks a million, Julianne.
You're welcome.
No, you've been brilliant.